What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. It has happened, guys. We talked about it in yesterday or the day before's video, talking about how Invasion Garp is coming to One Piece Treasure Cruise, and I did say that I feel like Judge and the GERMA squad might be arriving on Treasure Cruise Global very, very soon. We had a download and have a look at what is in the game now. It is going to be the GERMA 66 Sugo-Fest. Now, a little bit different from the Japanese version of this actual Sugo-Fest. This Sugo-Fest is so much better than the Japanese version GERMA 66 Sugo-Fest. So, this Sugo-Fest is going to be all gold. It is going to be 369 multi will be guaranteed red. Judge is going to be rate boosted on the last poster of the 9th multi. That is bringing back some V2 Boa vibes right now. Also, on the 4th and 7th multi in particular, the last poster is guaranteed to be one of the GERMA unit. That can include Judge as well. So the 11th poster on the 4th and the 7th will be one of the new batch, including the Legend. That's really, really cool. So in today's video, we are going to be overviewing each of the new characters in this brand new Sugo-Fest batch. So hopefully you guys do go on to enjoy the video. If you guys do enjoy it, make sure to smack the like button down below. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. So the first unit that we are going to overview is going to be Vinsmoke Yonji, GERMA 66 Science Combat Force. So Yonji is a Dex powerhouse fighter type character, and at max level at level 99 he has 2,406 HP, 1341 attack, and 352 recovery. His captain ability will boost the attack of Dex characters by 2.25 and boost the attack of Powerhouse by 1.3 times and the HP of Powerhouse by 1.2. So ideally what you want to do here is run, if you're going to use this guy as a captain for whatever reason, you would pretty much want to run a full team of Dex Powerhouse characters, and the 2.25 and the 1.3 attacks of Powerhouse and Dex will stack, meaning that Dex Powerhouse characters will have essentially a 3 times attack multiplier whilst under this guy as a captain, which is actually pretty decent. That's actually not too bad, although you're not really going to be using this guy as a captain in too many circumstances. His special ability, which will go ahead and max at 14 turns, will state that if your captain is a Dex or a Psi character, boost attack against delayed enemies by 1.75 for 1 turn. That's an amazing boost, an amazing conditional boost. However, on top of that, if your captain is a powerhouse character, he will add 40 times his attack as additional typeless bonus damage for 1 turn. So, the way that the GERMA squad works is they have 2 different abilities that activate in their special ability. One activates when your captain is a certain color, and the other one will activate when they are either a powerhouse character or they're not a powerhouse character. So, in this case, as we stated, that he has a conditional boost if they are the right color, and if they're powerhouse, he adds 40 times his attack as additional typeless bonus damage, kind of like Raid Sabo or Legend Inu Arashi. Very, very similar, but this guy is pretty good, but all in all, he's probably the worst or equal worst of the batch. Just overall, you're not really going to be using him in too many circumstances. Even on the Judge team, he isn't that great, but in certain circumstances where you can use your conditional boost for delay, he's going to be very, very good, because as we all know that there aren't many cases where you can actually use delayed conditional boost in a lot of the high tier content, because they'll have a debuff protector or a delay protector, which means that you can't use his specific conditional boost. But still, on top of that, you can still get his 40 times character's attack as bonus damage. That is always really, really good to have. Extra bonus damage is always really, really good. And remember, all of these characters do have limit breaks as well. After all of their limit breaks, each character in this batch will have 5 sockets, and they have 2 different abilities as well. They'll also lower their cooldowns in certain circumstances as well, which is quite nice. So now that we've overviewed Yonji, let's move on to the next character of the Sugo-Fest batch. Now, the next character that we're going to be talking about is going to be Vinsmoke Niji, GERMA 66 Science Combat Force. Niji is a quick powerhouse fighter type character, and at max level at level 99, he has 2,834 health, 1382 attack, and 267 recovery. Now, like the other units in this batch, 4 sockets and also a cost of 30. His captain ability is essentially the exact same as what Yonji's was. It is 2.25 attack to quick, and if they are powerhouse, he adds an additional 1.3 times attack and also a 1.2 health to Powerhouse as well. Literally the exact same captain ability as what Yonji's was, except it's for blue characters. So you need blue Powerhouse characters under this guy when you use him as a captain. Now, the special ability of Niji will go ahead and max at 14 turns. If your captain is Quick or Psy, boost attack of all characters by 1.75 for 2 turns. A rainbow 1.75 times attack boost for your entire crew. Although, you remember, it only works if your captain is Quick or Psy, but overall, this can actually be used not only on the Judge GERMA 66 team, but this can be used in other circumstances as well. It's overall a really, really good special ability. Then, on top of that, if your captain is a Powerhouse character, lock all orbs for 1 turn. So, overall, the best circumstances, obviously, is going to be under the GERMA squad with Judge as your captain, but this guy can actually be used very, very well when your captain is the V2 Quick Lucci. He works very, very well because Quick Lucci will fulfill both conditions of this special, being a Powerhouse unit, and he's also quick. So, Niji, overall, is probably equal best of this batch, just in terms of the rare recruits, of course. He's very, very good. He gets critical hit and slot bind self-reduction. He gets his cooldown lowered through limit break as well. Overall, this unit is one of the better of the batch, an insane unit that not only works in his own team, but works in many other different teams as well. Now let's move on to the next GERMA unit, which is going to be Vinsmoke Ichiji, GERMA 66 Science Combat Force. Ichiji is a strength powerhouse fighter type character and at max level at level 99. He has 2,912 HP, 1421 attack, and 241 recovery. His captain ability, like the other 2 characters that we previously had just stated, boost attack of strength by 2.25, Powerhouse character's attack will get an additional 1.3, and also the health of Powerhouse will be 1.2. Again, similar to Niji and Yonji, you need strength Powerhouse units on this team, with this guy as a captain for a 3 times boost, which is quite nice. And then his special ability, which will max at 14 turns, if your captain is strength or Psy, locks the chain multiplier at 2.5 for 2 turns. That is amazing. We've seen a lot of chain multiplier locks come out in One Piece Treasure Cruise. There aren't that many that are multiple turn chain lockers. I believe the only other one that I can think of off the top of my head is Raid Boa Hancock, and now we have a new character that utilizes this, although your captain has to be either strength or a Psy character. On top of that, if your captain is a Powerhouse unit as well, he will delay all enemies for 2 turns. So we're already seeing some sort of synergy here with some of the units. You know, he delays, and then you had Yonji on the crew, who was a delayed conditional booster. So this is working very, very well. All these characters really synergize very, very well, and with his limit break, he gets Enrage, which is honestly one of the best limit break abilities in the game, and also he has slot bind self-reduction. So he's making all these units on his crew will make sure that they will never get their slots binded, which is fantastic. He also gets his special cooldown lowered by 1 turn as well. So Ichiji is another amazing unit. Ichiji and Niji, both fantastic units. And now let's move on to the last rare recruit of this batch before we talk about the new 6-star Sugo-Fest exclusive character. The last rare recruit here is going to be Vinsmoke Beiju, GERMA 66 Science Combat Force. Now, Reiju is an int Powerhouse Cerebral type character, and at max level at level 99, her health is 1984, her attack is 1312, and her recovery is 432. And remember, like the other units, 30 cost and 4 socket spots, but she does get a 5th one after limit break like all the other rare recruits in this batch. Now, her captain ability, like the other units of this batch, int characters will get 2.25 attack, Powerhouse will get 1.3, and will boost the recovery of Powerhouse by 1.2. So this is slightly different. She does not boost health of Powerhouse, but the recovery of Powerhouse, slightly different. So if you're using this character as a captain, you have to run int Powerhouse characters as your subunits. Now let's move on to her special ability. So her special ability will max at 14 turns. If your captain is int or Psy, she recovers 7,000 HP flat. It is a flat 7,000 HP recovery, meaning that you do not want to give her recovery candies. If this was a special that stated, you know, heal a certain multiplier times her recovery, then at that point you would want to give her HP, or recovery candies, my bad. But the fact that it is a flat HP recovery, then you do not want to give her HP candies at all. But on top of this 7,000 recovery, she removes poison and reduces the duration of paralysis, despair, and special bind by 3 turns. Now that's all if your captain is either int or Psy. Then on top of that, if your captain is a Powerhouse character, she will then go ahead and reduce damage received by 70% for 2 turns. That is an amazing set of damage reduction. This unit is mainly used as a utility-based unit. Obviously, on the GERMA squad, she's going to be working fantastically because Judge will fulfill Psi and Powerhouse conditions. But there aren't that many situations where you can actually use this character to get both of these specific effects to activate. In most cases outside of the GERMA team, you can actually get her to work either on an Inter or Psi team, or you can get her to work on a Powerhouse team. There's not too many circumstances you can get her to work in any other team to get both of these effects to activate. Either way, she's a pretty good unit overall. 70% reduction for 2 turns is actually pretty amazing. There aren't that many units for multiple turns that can reduce damage by that significant margin, which is pretty goddamn awesome. And the fact that she has so much utility, paralysis, despair, and special bind reduction by 3 turns. She removes all poison whatsoever. And also that flat recovery of 7k isn't really that much. In my personal opinion, I would have much preferred it to be a multiplier times her recovery. But at that point, it could be a little bit broken because with Limit Break and Candies, she can get some pretty crazy recovery stat. So I can understand why they did a flat recovery of HP, but either way, I still would have loved for it to be a multiplier. But overall, she's definitely not one of the units you want to get that often, really, because she's not that great in comparison to some of the other units that provide enough power to your team. But if you are going to run the full power GERMA team, she is really nice to have, as she gives you so much utility, enabling you to get around so many different debuffs against the enemy. Now, Reiju has Slotbind self-reduction and reduce no healing duration with her Limit Break, and she will also reduce her cooldown by 1 turn as well, and also, obviously, as we mentioned before, she gains an additional socket spot. But now let's talk about the big bad daddy himself, Vinsmoke Judge, GERMA 66 Science Combat Force. Judge is a Psi Powerhouse driven type character, and at max level, at level 99, he has 4,212 HP, 1510 attack, and 201 recovery. Now his captain ability will increase the rate of Psi orbs. Now before we even move on from here, something that I didn't mention a little bit earlier, every single one of the rare recruits in this batch has a sailor ability that you don't even need to get Limit Break for. It's a natural sailor ability that all of the GERMA units have. They treat Psi orbs as beneficial for themselves. That is bonkers, because you can go ahead and run the entire GERMA team, get the increased rate of Psi orbs, and all of those Psi orbs count as beneficial for your entire crew. Moving on with his captain ability, reduces damage received by 15%, then boosts the HP of all characters by 1.25. So even just that alone, you're getting 15% reduction, which is the same as Time Skip Luffy, but on top of that, you're also getting a 1.25 health boost. Judge is extremely tanky. He can take so many hits, and especially if you're running double Judge, you get double of these, or multiplied together, of these damage reduction and the health boosting abilities, which is fantastic. However, he will only boost the HP of your crew, and I believe the attack of your crew as well, if you fulfill the condition of having one of each type on your crew: Strength, Dex, Quick, Psi, and Int on your crew. Judge already will fulfill the Psi condition, so you have to go ahead and fulfill the other 4 colors with the rest of your 5 characters. Then on top of that, he boosts the attack of all characters by 2.25. However, if they have a matching orb, it's boosted by an additional 1.75 up to 3.93. He has the exact same multiplier of attack that Legend Akainu does, 2.25 all the way up to 3.93 if they have a matching orb. A little bit different from Akainu. Akainu relies on you getting a strength orb on your character. Whereas Judge, you just need a matching orb. Now remember, as we mentioned before, all of the GERMA units have the Sailor ability that will treat Psi as beneficial, and Judge will increase the rate of Psi orbs appearing. So you can already see this team works so well together. You get a ton of health, a ton of damage reduction, matching orbs a lot of the time, and an amazing 4 times multiplier when you do have those matching orbs. Now the special ability of Judge is quite interesting as well. It will max at 14 turns, and what it does is it will reduce bind duration by 7 turns, and amplifies the effects of orbs by 2 times for 1 turn. So that was the thing that this team was missing. This team had no bind resistance with any of its special abilities, and it didn't have an orb booster, so Judge is the one that fulfills that for your crew. Then, if this character is the captain or the friend captain, he will slightly increase the rate of Psi Orbs appearing, and then he's going to randomly shuffle all your orbs, including block orbs. So this guy, when you use him as a captain and you activate the special, he obviously, as we mentioned, gets rid of the bind by 7 turns, and also gives you the orb boost. But because you are, a lot of the time going to be running the GERMA team, he will shuffle all the orbs that you have, including those block orbs. He's going to shuffle them whilst increasing the rate of Psi Orbs even further in conjunction with his captain ability. So it's not a guaranteed way to get a full board of Psi Orbs, but you get a very, very, very high chance of getting full Psi Orbs for all of your units, which essentially is like a full board of orbs for your crew with a 2x orb boost and reducing the bind duration by 7 turns. Like, this guy works amazingly with the GERMA squad. All of the GERMA units work well with Judge. This is just a one big happy family. This team works so well, and it's honestly one of the best, if not the best team in the game. This team itself can beat, I believe, everything in the game. I don't think there's too many things that this team cannot get around. There might be certain debuffs along the way in certain adventures where Judge and the GERMA squad might have a little bit of difficulty in beating, but the fact that they have so much tankiness and they have Reiju for slight healing, it means that they can actually tank a lot of hits and outstall a lot of the really bad debuffs that they have to get rid of. Also, when you max limit break these characters, remember, they all have the slot bind self reduction, which means that if you do get orb sealed, they all have the ability to remove that. Obviously, you have to get them to max limit break and max out their potential abilities, but they have the potential to literally not be affected by Orb Seal, which really, really nerfs Judge if you don't have that on your crew. So overall, the GERMA team is one of the best, if not the best, singular mono team in the game, and it is able to beat 99.9% of content, I'm sure of it. You guys will definitely love to get this character in the Sugo-Fest coming on the 29th of March 2018. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, and if you guys have enjoyed it, make sure to smack the like button down below, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.